Richard Howard, Labour MEP for the East of England. News that EADS is going to be restructuring. What kind of impact is this going to have in the East of England?
Well, the East of England region is the heart of not just Britain's space industry, but that for Europe. And Astrium is a key business in Stevenage, thousands of jobs, and the potential to be a really major player, not just now, but well into the future. I'm relieved that they've given me assurances that Stevenage will remain part of their core business with plans for growth, not cutbacks. But of course, with the threat of some redundancies hanging over the workforce there, I call for maximum consultation with the workforce and their trade union.
I mean, I understand you've also been in contact not only with the company but the workforce as well. What kind of feeling are you getting from the ground about this restructuring? Are they positive or are they apprehensive?
The workforce in Stevenage are extremely committed to what has been and is a successful company and for its future in our town. But they do feel that this announcement made at a European Works Council yesterday, they're not going to get the details until a meeting in London on Thursday, leaves a lot of questions to be answered. And so on their behalf, here in the European Parliament, for this company across Europe, I have said they must fully involve the workforce and their trade unions and make sure there is a proper debate before any decisions are taken.
Now, at the same time, there is discussion out here this week in Strasbourg about space policy and supporting the space industry. Is there a connection here between the East of England, places like Stevenage, and what support can be given from out here in Europe?
Astrium in Stevenage is a major player in the satellites that are building Europe's own global positioning system. And I've been fighting for more funds that Astrium can bid for into the future. And that's why it makes it so much more important to understand that collaboration for their company across Europe in the new space race, the race for jobs and for technology, is absolutely vital. And on the day that a government minister in Britain said that Stevenage would be the platform for a new mission to Mars, for the company itself responsible to announce mass redundancies, shows the dangers of any lack of collaboration with Europe.
Do you think ultimately, given that Stevenage is going to remain and become a stronger base for the company, do you think ultimately this could be good news for Stevenage if perhaps they could, for example, utilise funding from here in Europe?
What is good for Stevenage is that I've received a personal assurance from the company that it remains central to what they call growth plans. But they have at the same time said that they cannot rule out redundancies. And of course I express concern on behalf of my own constituents in Stevenage that they're fully informed about what's happening and able to influence the decisions to be made. Today I express the hope that not one compulsory redundancy is made affecting the workforce in Stevenage.
Now, we hear from, following a vote here in Strasbourg last month, that there'll be huge amounts of new funding from Europe, including for space research. I understand about £1.2 billion for the space industry. How important is it that the East of England gets and utilises some of that money?
Now, I've been very proud to be appointed as one of the shadow rapporteurs negotiating this new £1.2 billion European fund to support our space industry, and Astrium in Stevenage, but also E2V and BAE Systems in Chelmsford are major companies that can bid for the companies with a successful track record of doing so. And that's why it's very important that decisions taken about redundancies today bear in mind the fact that this sector is a growth sector for the future and that we don't lose skilled people in high quality jobs because those people are needed to do the work.
Just a final word about the wider economy, because I suppose industries like this are not only about the very large and important industries, companies that you've mentioned, but also the feeder in research that's done at the universities and the small businesses. It's all connected.
Yeah, these big companies like Astrium in Stevenage all have a supply chain sourcing their components, but sourcing people as well in the universities in Hertfordshire and elsewhere. And that's why it's so important that these projects, which actually have a lifetime of 10, 20 plus years, which is why we need European support for them to be successful, and decisions in the short term aren't made which could affect the jobs of these very skilled and committed people. Stevenage has been a success story for Astrium in the past. I want to make sure it is so for the future.